All right, now I know you've seen this picture before. We talked about it in an earlier module, but I want to come back to that now because now we're starting to get back into this part of it. So what I want to talk about is just the importance of the congruency between the ad copy and then the landing pages. And how it's going to be different depending on hot, warm, and cold traffic. So a lot of people ask me, like, well, Russell, where do I start? Like, there's all these funnels I could build and things and traffic, and I always tell people, like, look, this is the deal. There's going to be a pile of cash right in front of you. Like, that's the first thing you want to do. You're going to grab that, put it in your pocket first. A lot of people come in, they start trying to focus on cold traffic. I'm like, no, like, there's a pile of cash. Grab that first, put it in your pocket, run away, right? So that's your hot traffic. So this is the first thing, right? So as soon as you have a new offer, if you got a list of people already, like, how do you sell to them? Create that first. And so for me, it's like a very simple funnel usually is like just, it's simple to sell your own audience, right? Make a really simple funnel, we drive some ads, drive some email, and we get that big pile of cash and we put it in our pocket, okay? And you're gonna know how to speak to your audience anyway. They know who you are, they've heard you talk before, like hopefully you're sending emails to your list often, so those things are already kind of there. Then I start coming back and say, okay, now this funnel's done. Now I'm gonna go after warm audience. So I'm taking a step back. These people don't know who I am. Where are we targeting these people at? Is it Facebook? Okay, if it's Facebook, then you start looking like, everyone else running Facebook ads, like what's working, right? Like Facebook Lives right now, as the time we're recording this, work really, really good. So it's like, if I'm in Facebook, I'm gonna do Facebook Lives targeting different audiences. I'm gonna tell different Epiphany Bridge stories to target different segments of the market. I might do a Facebook Live every single day targeting different segments of the people I want to target inside of Facebook. And I have a very specific message, it's gonna drive them to a very specific landing page that matches. So like understanding the congruency that happens. A lot of times people put out 1,000 different messages and send everybody to the exact same landing page. And the problem with that is, if I'm over here talking about network marketing funnels, and you come over here and you land on a page that's my expert secrets book, and you're like, wait, I don't understand how it got here. Like, there's this incongruency. Like, you want to try to make congruency throughout everything. In fact, let me tell you a story that might help a lot. So in the 108 Split Test book, if you've read that, you see me talk about this concept. But back when we had a weight loss offer, this is back 5 or 6 years ago, and we were buying email ads to big, huge, like cold audience list, right? And what was cool about the email ads we were buying is it let me rotate different headlines. And so what I would do is I would pick 4 headlines, and I would mail the list, and I have it go 25% to all 4 different headlines. And then I let that run, and then what happened, I come back like 2 days later and say, okay, here's all the data. These are the 4 emails you sent, 4 subject lines. This one got 60% open rate, this one got 20, 10, and 5, whatever. So I'm like, okay, that subject line, we know that message is right. So I took that subject line, then inside the actual email, for the next email blast, I went through and the clickable link inside the email, I changed it from click here to find out more to I actually used the exact same words from the subject line that had the highest open rate. So I did that, and so all the links shifted from click here now to, again, whatever the title was, whatever the subject line was, as like a clickable link. And what happened is all of a sudden, like, our open rates were 60% now for all the emails that went out, which is huge increase. And then our click-through rate shot up as well. Then I took that same headline that was in the email, it was the subject line in the email, then in the actual email, and then on the landing page, I also made that the headline on the landing page. And then the video happened to also say the same phrases because we knew that was the phrase that got people open the most. Okay? So there's congruency between the subject line, the actual links in the email, the landing page headlines, the messaging, like there's this congruency. And so as you're doing this, is understanding that hot traffic is I'm gonna speak to them this way, and these pages will be similar. Cold, warm traffic, and I may be pushing from a lot of different sources. Maybe YouTube ads are this way, Twitter ads are this way, and there's gonna be different landing pages that match, so that when someone goes and hears a message, and the thing they land on afterwards is gonna be very congruent. The message will be the same, the look and the feel. Like, we wanna make people feel like they're following a process. As soon as there's a big disconjoint where someone clicks something and it comes something that doesn't look similar, they're just like, this doesn't look right, I don't think I'm in the right spot, and then they'll leave. Like, it's that congruency across the whole thing that is the key. And so those are some things I want you to kind of have you think about as we're going through this module in this section, because when you understand that and really start using it, it makes every single click, every single thing, everything you do a million times easier. And for any of you guys who are thinking like, oh, Russell, you're saying that I have to make a different landing page for every core ad that I'm doing, or every different network that I'm in, I just want to remind you that you're using a tool called ClickFunnels. It literally takes a half a second to clone a page. Back in the 4 or 5 years ago, before ClickFunnels, I had to get someone to hand code every single time, every single page, and it was a nightmare. It would take 2 or 3 days just to take a page, clone it, change a couple things, and make it congruent before you even knew if the thing worked. Where you can do it on the fly really, really quickly. So I promise you, it is worth it. It takes a little extra effort. But the difference between those who have some success and those who have few success is those little tweaks, those little things, to going the extra mile to make your message congruent across all the networks, across all the traffic sources. And you do that, it becomes really, really easy. So That is what I want you to talk, or I guess thinking about throughout this module.